Jungkook calls his mafia group man and said him to make arrangements to keep an eye on Taehyung at all times. Jungkook wants every moment news of Taehyung. Jungkook is reluctant to see anyone other than himself around Taehyung. He gritted his teeth, while looked at Taehyung with angry eyes. Then he started the car and drove the car in full speed. On the other side, Taehyung is speaking in a tearful voice aimed at the boy who is holding him tightly. "I miss you, Jimina." After hearing Taehyung's words, Jimin leaves Taehyung and starts talking in an excited voice. "I also miss you, my soulmate. Where have you been lost for so long? How many times have I called you? Your phone was off. I went to your house too, but the door to your house was locked. Where did you go without telling me anything, Chai? You know how much I miss you. Please don't go anywhere like this without informing me." After saying this, Jimin again hugs Taehyung, and accidentally Jimin's hand touches Taehyung's chin while hugging, which caused a painful sound come out of Taehyung's mouth. And Jimin panic starts asking Taehyung, "Did something happen to your chin? And why did you suddenly wear a mask? Open the mask, I want to see what happened to your chin." "No, Jimina. It's nothing like that. Let's go to the class. It's time for class to start," said while trying to look normal. "No, I'm sure something happened. Otherwise you wouldn't sound like this at time. So now open your mask. I want to see with my own eyes what happened to your chin," said impatiently. At Jimin's insistence, Taehyung is forced to take off his face mask. And Jimin is surprised to see the condition of Taehyung's lips and chin. He looked at Taehyung with wide eyes and asked in a worried voice, "Tae, what happened to your lips and chin? And where have you been all this time?" "I'll tell you everything, Jimin, but not now. Now we have to go to class. Otherwise we will miss the class." After hearing Taehyung's words, Jimin doesn't speak anymore. He just nodded and started walking to go to class with Taehyung. Entering the class, the two of them are sitting quietly, not saying anything. But inside of their minds has so many thoughts and untold talks. Jimin can't keep quiet anymore. Jimin's curiosity to know the reason behind this condition of his best friend is driving him crazy. But still Jimin doesn't want to create any offensive situation by asking Taehyung anything else in front of so many students in the class. So Jimin suppresses all the curiosity in his mind till lunch break. But as soon as the lunch break bell rang, he grabbed Taehyung's hand and led him to the school rooftop, and began to speak in an excited voice. "Tae, please tell me now what's the story behind this. I can't take it anymore." Seeing Jimin get so excited, Taehyung sighed and said, "Jimin, I told you on my way home from school a month ago that I am going somewhere with my Oma Appa, you remember?" "Yeah, I remember. You were so happy that day. And since then I haven't found you anywhere else. Now tell me what happened that day." "On that day, after traveling with the Oma Appa, on the way back home, suddenly our car's brake failed and hit a big rock. And the car fell off the road and fell into the forest. Appa dies after falling into the forest. Oma was still alive that time. She was trying to protect me by hugging me. But to protect me, Oma's condition got worse. Oma's whole body was filled with blood. I was also bleeding from many parts of my body. It was hard to keep my eyes open. Oma was trying to get me out of the car, but she couldn't. And that time I couldn't even move. My eyes almost closed. I hugged Oma tightly. I felt like I was taking my last breath. and maybe I can't see this world anymore. But no, it didn't happen. Suddenly I hear a man's voice. And to save Ioma, I screamed with all my might and asked the man for help. But even after screaming with my highest, my voice was so low, due to which the man could not hear me. I was crying helplessly. At that moment, Ioma struggled and threw something out of the car, and wants help in a painful voice. In a moment, a man wearing a full black suit and mask came and stood in front of our car. And Ioma asks the guy to get me out of the car and save me. As soon as the man got me out of the car, Ioma grabbed the man's hand and said in a broken voice, "Take care of my son. He is very innocent and simple for this difficult world. He can't live alone in this cruel world. I'm leaving you with the responsibility of my only beloved son. Keep him safe, 'cause I have no more time." After saying that, Ioma puts a trembling hand on my cheek and says in an emotional voice, "Taibe, take care of yourself. Ioma Appa loves you so much, baby." Listening to Ioma, I was about to say something to Ioma. But before that, Ioma closes her eyes, and I lost consciousness. Taehyung started crying after saying this. Jimin was also crying with Taehyung, but still rubbing his hand on Taehyung's back trying to calm Taehyung. After a while, Taehyung calmed down and started saying again. When I regained consciousness, I found myself in a huge room, applying saline wire in hand. Full hospital arrangements in the room. A middle-aged woman sitting by the bed. As soon as I regained consciousness, the woman went out of the room to call someone. After a while, the man wearing the full black suit and mask of that day enters the room with the doctor. The man still wears a full black suit and a face mask. The doctor checked me up and left the room after talking to the man. And the man sit on my bedside while says, "Finally, after 10 days your senses are back, baby boy." I stared at the man in amazement for a while when I heard the word baby boy on his mouth. Then I asked softly, "Who are you? May I know your identity?" Listening to me, the man took off his mask. Then he leaned closer to me and said, "I am the Mafia King Jeon Jungkook, to whom your Ioma gives your all responsibility before she passed away." The Mafia King Jeon Jungkook. I was shocked to hear that. For fear no more words out of my mouth. Seeing me keep quiet, Jungkook said, "Now that your Ioma Appa is no longer in this world, so from now on I am your only owner. Don't disobey me. Take care of yourself, and eat food time to time every day. One thing will not force me to say a second time. Remember, I don't like disobedient people. So be a good boy. Now after dinner you will fall asleep. You are not fully recovered yet, so stay on full rest. Got it?" Suddenly, after hearing so much, no more words came out of my mouth. So I just nodded. Saying this, Jungkook looked at me with angry eyes and said, "I want to hear the answer from your mouth in response to my words. Don't force me to say it a second time." "Yes, okay." I looked down in fear and said. After getting my answer, Jungkook left the room. I broke down in tears as soon as I remembered that Ioma Appa is no more in the world. This is the first time I felt so helpless. After crying alone for a while, the middle-aged woman enters the room with a plate of food in her hand. And she sat next to me, wiped away my tears and fed me with her own hands. In between feeding, she introduced herself to me and says Jungkook brought her to this house 6 years ago, when she had nowhere to go. Even if Jungkook is Mafia king, but he respects her very much, and called her a Jimma. Only she, Jungkook and Sook, the named man, live in this huge house. After finishing feeding me, Jimma leaves the room, and I lie down with my eyes closed. That's how I started to recover from a Jimma's care and Jungkook's strict guidance. Jungkook won't let me out of the room until I'm completely healed. After few days later, when I was completely healed, Jungkook gave me the permission to go down. And as soon as I got down, a Jimma introduced me to Soga Haeyoung. Because even though I've been in the same house for so long, I have never met Soga Haeyoung before. Actually, Jungkook did not allow anyone to enter my room except a Jimma. No one knows why he did that. However, from then on, Jungkook's sudden attack started on me. Although Jungkook never hit me seriously, but he tortured me in many ways. Like he suddenly bites in my neck, holds my cheek so tightly. He entered my room in the middle of the night, woke me up and make me massage his head. And this is how Jungkook tortured my lips and chin last night. After saying that, Taehyung started crying again. And Jimin is speechless when he hears Taehyung's story. He can't understand what to say at this moment. Jimin is shocked to think that saddened so much has suddenly happened in his best friend's life. But still, to give Taehyung courage, he controls his tears and rubs his hand on Taehyung's back and says, "Don't cry, Tae. Everything will be fine. I'm here for you." After hearing Jimin's comforting words, Taehyung feel a little bit relaxed. The two friends were so busy talking for so long that after lunch break they missed 2 more classes. But they didn't even notice that. While when the next class bell rang, the two friends looked at their watch and noticed the time, and hurried to class. At the end of the class, Jimin and Taehyung came out of the school together. Taehyung sees Jungkook has already sent the car with the driver. So Taehyung says goodbye to Jimin and sits in the car. After a while, Taehyung returns home and sees Jungkook sitting on his bed. Suddenly seeing Jungkook in his room, Taehyung was so shocked. And he gets scared. Because seeing Jungkook's facial expression, Taehyung realizes that Jungkook is in very angry mood now. For fear, Taehyung does not dare to move towards Jungkook. Seeing Taehyung standing in the same place for some time, Jungkook himself came in front of Taehyung. And then he pushed Taehyung forcefully the wall next to the door and says in an angry voice, "To be continued." Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and share, because it will inspire me to write more FF like this. Purple you all my purple soul Taekookers.